Hello everyone, my name is Cody Evans and I'm the Crop Protection Tech Development Rep with Bayer Crop Science, and today we're at our Nortonville Weed Research Center, and I wanted to go through a few of the things of why we believe so strongly in our start clean, spray clean, and stay clean mentality. We like to be more proactive about our weed management strategies than being reactive. So the reason why, whenever we're going out and we're saying, okay, we need to start with a nice clean prep seed bed, or we need to make sure our burn downs completely get everything that's there. We make our planning, we get our residuals down, and we overlap residuals. That way we're not waiting till the weeds come up. So here I have got two plants of water hemp. Here is a plant that is right at that 4-inch mark that we had always talked about hitting. A lot of guys can have issues always catching it at this size, and so we end up seeing fields where we're getting plants a little bit taller. This is an untreated area behind me, but that's definitely off label. These making applications to plants that size is how we really build resistance, and most people understand that. But I mean, we look at a plant that's about 4 inches tall, and we've got about 6 different growing points here. We go to a plant that's roughly about 8 inches tall, we go up to about 23. So it doesn't take very long for that exponential amount of growing points to start building up. That's more areas that the herbicide has to go to. This is when we start seeing some plants that might have been controlled by a HPPD application. This is where it starts to shrug those things off and every once in a while, given the different conditions. But it's a lot tougher to control plants once they're up. The best time to control a species like water hemp is before it emerges. So as it's a seed or as it's a seedling, and when we don't have all that metabolism going within the plant, that's the best time to strike. That's the best time to make our applications, whether it be post and we have that residual in there. But we want to make sure that we keep our foot down on these populations and make sure that we're being more proactive and not waiting to see those weeds come up. Because once you see a plant that is that smaller little 4-inch guy, you're always going to have a plant that's closer to 8 inches or 10 inches. If we've got any escapes out there, it's usually not these little guys that are going to cause the issue. It's going to be the bigger ones. And that can happen in different ways. So we can have our pre not be activated. That's why we like to bring in a product like dicamba to help it if we don't have that rainfall event happening right after our pre-application. It gives us a little bit of a timeline there of about a week or two, depending on what the environment's like, how much rainfall we've had, and it gives that pre a little bit of wiggle room to have some time to activate before we get a big flush come in. Another thing to think about is once we do get these flushes of water hemp in, we go in to try to make post applications to control. What we're going to have is varying sizes of plants, but we're also going to have issues with coverage. If we get a solid mat up, we might be able to kill a good majority of what's come up, but then you're going to have plants hiding underneath. So what we need to do is give the best chance we can to our pre-programs. That way that gives the best chance to our post programs, and we're able to overlap these residuals and be a lot more successful with our weed control and our weed management systems. And that way we can go through and make sure that we're helping steward all these post herbicides that and in all reality, we really don't have too many options with post control of populations of water hemp that might be PPO and glyphosate resistant. We're seeing populations that are building resistance to HPPDs, and two different areas we've got some water hemp that's building resistance to 2,4-D, and we're seeing less sensitivity to other herbicides as well. So we need to make sure that we're doing our best to keep our foot down on these populations. That way we steward these products that we have. That way we can use them down the line in the future, and we can make sure we do the best with the products that we have available at the time given us. And with that, thank you guys very much.